Bam, first set of the day. We get to have FryDasOle, and we get to have FryDasOle on the Priya. Chakrams have been dominating the meta at the moment. We're going to see if they continue to do so. We're going to see what's up with Chakrams.
FryDasOle just sharking, dude. Oh my gosh, yep. He's just straight up sharking until he gets Chakram. This is honestly like what a lot of people have been waiting for, is to see specifically FryDasOle and how he plays Chakram. I would imagine that he is the highest level Priya player in all of Brawlhalla, if not like very close to the top. It's his 4th highest leveled legend, level 67. So he's put a considerable amount of time compared to like everybody else. Like Vimtankila, who won max mode, he's probably up there as well, and his was only like level 49 or so, which is still a lot of time compared to everybody else who played Chakram. So yeah, like I want to see what FryDasOle is able to do with this legend. So far, it's been like there hasn't been a lot going on here. We're about 45 seconds into the game, and everybody's still in yellow. We've seen no like major juggles or anything like that.
Yeah, FryDasOle, he's just looking for this big opening at the moment, right? Which you started off with either down air, or with end light, or with a neutral, or with a recovery at the moment. He's opting to play really floaty, and Ahmet able to get the punish with the side air. Nicely done. Tries to go for the side light, puts himself off stage. FryDasOle, no punish.
Oh, the way Fry is playing, he's played so he's just running away. He's straight up sharking so hard all the way to the right side of the stage, up to the soft platform. Now he's going, okay, he's staying in center a little bit more than he was before, but he's just been like on the wall a lot. Now he's looking for his juggle, not able to really find it. Also, I'm imagining that Europe is probably at this level maybe a little bit better than some of the other regions, at least probably better than North America at playing against Chakram, because they have FryDasOle and probably a handful of other people in the queue who are playing this legend.
This was already the lowest. Oh my gosh. Oh no, that's a big opening for Ahmet. Okay, side light, side air. Nice. Good punish there. FryDasOle picking up the sword. Let's see if he's able to make anything happen with it. He tries to slide off with that D-light. He wanted the D-light recovery, but he wasn't able to connect it, and Ahmet just able to get a quick punish. I was going to say, this is a very gentle Chakram that we have seen from FryDasOle. They're playing this game slow. This is some very slow APM Brawlhalla at the moment.
Yeah, I haven't been able to like see him play this legend at all, like anytime he's been streaming or anything like that, or any of the YouTube videos that he makes. So I don't really know how he plays this legend. I don't know if this is like one of his first kind of difficult sets of the day, so he wants to take it slow compared to some of the other opponents he's gone through. No disrespect for them or to them, but yeah, he's like, for the way that everybody talks about Chakram as like something that is very difficult to punish, so you just kind of spam attacks.
To get here. That's a good win.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
So yeah, definitely one of the other like big sets that he has of the day at the moment. FryDasOle, he's just looking for any opening kill. He's just looking for that down air. He's not able to get the neutral air pick up that time around. Ahmet is just playing at the same pace though, right? We want to go ahead and give him a little bit of light as well here.
If I was Ahmet right now, I would already be like heavily regretting or looking down the like future of this set and being like, man, this one's gonna be a slog. How far are we into the game?
Ahmet isn't
we're 3 minutes.
Petra. All players should be ready for the pace of a match being like this. This is what all sets should actually ideally go like, right? This nice gentle pace, neutral recovery, one more time, and that's gonna be able to do it off the top. FryDasOle taking a big lead.
So I guess that's just the win condition, and that's the win condition that he's going to hunt for. And if he doesn't get it, then he's really not going to commit to anything. He's not going to push anything really hard. He's going to wait for that, and if he doesn't get that, then the flowchart will not commence.
He just plays slow. He doesn't overcommit. He's tossing the sword away because you know what? We play Priya for the Chakram and not for the sword. That's right. Split those Chakrams and never fused. Down a neutral, looking for the recovery. Ahmet ends up dodging out and away to safety. Good catch on the jump.
We are, how far are we into this game? We're over 4 minutes into this game. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a slog for both of these players.
So nice, but this is like a gentle match, you know? It feels like we're like gently floating on the river at the moment. They're not necessarily always running away, they're just kind of jumping and moving around each other. Ahmet, though, able to get the stock there at the end, and now it is 1 stock apiece. So, let's see what we've got going on here. FryDasOle picking up the sword. Of course, it is just going to get immediately thrown away. That's going to be the D-light to split. Neutral recovery. It goes all the way up there and continues to juggle. Ahmet.
I saw him get that touch back down on the soft platform, and Ahmet was still up there. I was worried this stock was going to be gone. very quickly for him. He still hasn't touched Fry yet on his final stock. This could be it right here.
Wow.
Yep, that's it right off the top. That's the win condition he is looking for. I don't expect to be going to a soft platform map again. Although really your only options with that are to like ban out Demon Island. Yeah, so we have Demon Island, we have Small Worlds and still up there. The only like two maps without a soft platform. I expect to go to a Small Fortress again, no?
You saw like how just like good that platform was for him at the end, right? He was able to get the extension, he was able to get the coverage, he was able to continue his own juggle, and just really maximize his punish out of it. Wow, really nice avoiding that D-Sig, by the way. So I just wanted to go ahead and mention that, but Ahmet's edge guard was so nice, with the ledge trap rather. So we're going into the next game. Let's see what stage this is going to be in. It seems like we're going right back. Okay.
Yeah, not a surprise here. I was thinking about whether or not he might want to go to Small World's End because you can get those KOs off the top a little bit earlier, but you don't have a soft platform to extend off of. Based on the pacing and the way he's playing, this doesn't surprise me at all, where he would just want to camp around that soft platform and use that as his like home base. That's his fob, if you will. Which you wouldn't really get on Small Worlds, and maybe if he was playing in a more blistering pace, like some of the other Chakram players that we've seen that like to throw out attacks much more often.
Yeah. I've never seen FryDasOle play so slowly before, I have to say.
Same.
I feel like I'm used to like really aggressive edge guards, parentheses, mild overcommitment sometimes that really like make or break games. And this is a very gentle, slow-paced neutral that we're seeing at the moment. FryDasOle able to get the coverage, chase dodging all the way up. Ahmet wanted to get the reversal with the neutral. He wasn't able to find it. He's starting a juggle of his own. Remember, Orb can do a lot of those same things, right, with neutral and recovery as well. But you're just not able to string it nearly as far along as Chakram is able to.
You also kind of don't have enough range to be able to contest, and you have to be a little bit to the side. I feel like you have to be a lot more precise with it than Fry. And a lot of times that he's been like missing the neutral airs, he either isn't able to do anything after that that's like worth any substance, or Fry like also actually gets the punish off of it. So yeah, a lot of what Ahmet is doing is just it's really difficult to find any momentum on whatsoever. There's going to be the KO. You saw him jump up, and that's exactly what Fry wants. If Ahmet is floating above him, that's exactly what Fry wants.
That's right. Okay, let's see what we got. He's just going to be controlling the weapon. He's able to get an Endlight. Ahmet going to find a recovery. How does he get the stock? You know what? FryDasOle's never really in a position to get hit by Silent. Let's see if Ahmet's going to be able to sneak one of those out. Instead, he's just looking for the raw jump call out with the recoveries, and FryDasOle was able to get a very light punish for it. Now on the Orb, he needs to get a sidelight, which is going to be difficult. Why? Because FryDasOle is never really playing on the ground. So he just has to find a sider, catching his landing. Very nicely done. Ahmet going to be evening up the stock count.
Yeah, Ahmet's really playing the straight hit game right now, like you basically just laid out. He's not able to find his combo starters. If we think about like who's the most successful Orb player who consistently plays Orb, it's Radish, of course. What does he do? Like he punishes landings with sidelight, and then that of course leads into the sidelight side air, and then he uses the great signature kit. Okay, all right, the first bit of momentum that we've seen Ahmet get this entire set, and Fry has to down air into the wall. Or into the blast zone, excuse me.
FryDasOle used up all of his jumps getting back onto the stage. He went for the high recovery. He tried to land with the ground pound, and then Ahmet's spacing was just perfect. He was just able to exploit FryDasOle, who's left weaponless. He didn't have a weapon toss to make himself safe going back down. And now FryDasOle goes, okay, I can't get away with that against Ahmet. I have to be so careful about this. Is he going to be able to get the N-Sig?
This could be
scary. He's not going to be able to connect. He gets his dodge back just in time, and he makes it back on. Okay.
That could have been the stock there. Ahmet was very close as FryDasOle was in sweat beads there, and he didn't initially touch the wall, and it doesn't matter. Ahmet still gets the 2 stock. That's huge.
So, somebody over in the Twitch chat mentioned that Ahmet might be Priya's kryptonite. And I'm beginning to see a couple of signs of that, but I do have to say, that second stock, that was just pure advantage state for Ahmet. He was just able to completely punish every single last one of FryDasOle's landing options, who was left without a dodge, who was left without his jumps, and he did a really good job of that, you know? So he strung that along. He did not let him touch the ground. He did not let him get back on. His spacing on that was so tight. I haven't actually seen him be like, oh, okay, I can now hard counter Chakram yet. I can like completely outspace this yet, but the thing that I am noticing that he is doing so well is that he's not whiffing a lot of the grounded moves that FryDasOle is not nearly in the range or space for. Right, he's not whiffing a lot of gauntlet sidelights, which wouldn't be connecting. He's not whiffing a lot of Gauntlet D-lights. He's not whiffing a lot of orb side lights. He's not creating those openings for FryDasOle to be able to punish him, and instead he's just connecting, you know, like the KO moves that he needs to close out those stocks. So really nicely done.
Yeah, very, very, very impressive. I wonder if we're going to see Fry change anything up after that, because last game, like a lot of last game hinged on that second stock that he was able to take away from FryDasOle so quickly, and I don't think he's going to be able to rely on that as a consistent tool throughout the rest of the games in this set. Now that it's 1-1, this could go all the way to game 5. We could go the distance here. So I don't think he can rely on something like that, or even like the final KO that he almost got, KOing in yellow when Fry was like completely out of options and just barely touched the wall at the last moment. So I wonder if FryDasOle's going to change it up, maybe play a little bit more in Ahmet's face here, or if he's just going to like stick with the plan, right? Like the plan can still be a good plan and you lose a game. Just because you lose the game doesn't mean like the plan is flawed by any means.
Yeah, that's it. I don't think they have to deviate from the game plans respectively too much. They want to keep playing like that bit of a slow play style at the moment. I feel like the team would be like circle camping Kili like a little bit, right? With FryDasOle, he's just kind of like floating up and above and around Ahmet. He's just like waiting for him to press something that he really shouldn't so that he can get a punish. Because Chakram, you have so many different options. The amount of space that you get to cover with down air, you want to be able to float above your opponent or above where you think they're going to be at all times. You want to be able to catch them stacked on top of you with either neutral or recovery. And I think FryDasOle was doing a good job of that. Again, that second stock that just completely took away any momentum that he had that game. And yeah, that was just like so nicely played from Ahmet, I have to say.
Yeah, he did a great job using the extended range that he has on the side light. I think he grabbed, I can't remember if he used the soft platform when it was on the left side of the stage to get the side light and then the side air follow-up after that to like continue the pressure that he was putting on Fry, or if he gravity canceled the side light. Doesn't really matter which one. The point is he was using the extended range that side light has to be able to kind of get around the Chakram options, because you're thinking about what moves have the most priority, like what are the scariest moves in Chakram Kit. Obviously, like first and foremost, one of them is Dare. Just on its own, like you can use Dare in a vacuum and it's a fantastic move, or you can use it as like we saw, I can't remember who it was yesterday, down air into the side air follow-up, right? The side air is more of a threat because it has the down air, which is a great move leading into it, right? But then if we're also looking at like Nair recovery, both of those like in lockstep, in tandem, working together alongside each other, that's also a threat. So if you're playing to the side and using your lateral options there that have a greater range than the moves that FryDasOle is able to use, like that's gonna be really good for you. That's a good game plan to have, because we don't typically think of side air on its own as a really scary move in the Chakram Kit.
That's it, but we'll just have to see how it continues to play out. We're going to be going to Miami Dome for the game 3. It is currently 1 game apiece. And FryDasOle, look at him. He's just jumping. He's playing away. He's playing floaty. He tries to land with a downer, and then Ahmet is able to immediately get a punish and dealing quite a bit of damage onto FryDasOle. Ahmet is beginning to read and punish his movement.
Now we are going to Dome over here, so that's a little bit scary for the soft platform haters out there, especially against FryDasOle here. Let's see if we kind of keep the same pace. I think we saw one of our first like grounded moves there that wasn't a side light that FryDasOle hit.
Yep. Okay, recovery comes out. He goes all the way up there. Ahmet just able to dodge to safety. Okay. FryDasOle making it back onto the stage. Sweat beads coming out, but yeah, he just dodged in. He kept himself nice and safe.
Yeah, I saw those sweat beads, and he was like in that for a little bit longer than I would have expected. And Fry was in like the orange, so all you need is like one decent hit there to send him over to the side, and he's not going to be able to come back from that.
Holding on to the platform, Ahmet just dash jumping, neutraling, looking for any jump call out that he can get. That time around going for the dash jump sider, looking to catch the double jump potentially. That was another dash jump neutral. FryDasOle with a really good punish that time around. Ahmet feels very comfortable getting in that space directly above FryDasOle. FryDasOle playing a little bit more grounded now, trying to call that out. Recovery comes out.
Does still get the KO off the top. Yeah, FryDasOle's in a pretty good spot here. He's only like halfway through this stock. If he plays it right and Ahmet doesn't like find any... Okay, all right. Really moving over the edge there. I was really scared that he was going to get caught and lose that stock. I don't really know what happened in that moment. We're going to have to see Ahmet play some gauntlets, though, at least for a moment. Nope, he's just going to throw those away. I don't blame him whatsoever not wanting to play gauntlets in a Chakram. That seems like a bad matchup that I would not want to deal with.
Okay, Ahmet. Just looking for any way he can possibly catch this landing, and it's going to be so difficult, but he finally does it. He does it with side light side. Surprised that was not able to take the stock quite yet.
Nice.
FryDasOle, he's going to eat another one, and that is definitely going to be able to do it. Ahmet evening the game up.
Now he does go back to the more damaged orb that he was using, the original orb that he was using, that he's taken some damage on, but it's not like a lot of damage, so I don't think he's going to be disarmed anytime soon. I don't think that's some critical mistake that he just made when he was juggling the weapons.
He goes for the same jump.
Nice spot dodge.
So I'm not going to be able to get the punish on that time around. Okay, that time around it's able to successfully connect. Neutral sided. FryDasOle off stage. Ahmet dashing in, dashing out. Again, it is just a game of how do you catch FryDasOle's landings, and FryDasOle, how do you call out Ahmet's jumps? That is the dynamic that we're seeing unfold.
Ooh, the backside of that. Oh my god, nothing was happening there. I was so scared. They were like stacked almost completely on top of one another. Just matching each other's altitude.
They both went for the timing mix-up. Ahmet was going for the super delayed dodge, and FryDasOle was waiting for it. And at the end, Ahmet never pulled the trigger on the dodge.
That insig from FryDasOle was such a bold move. Especially trying to call out Ahmet there, like jumping in the air. He gets the KO after, and he's actually in a better position now on his second stock than he was when he got the KO last time. He's a little bit further, or sorry, less far into the stock. He has less damage on this stock than he did previously. He has stage control. This could be scary.
Oh my gosh. FryDasOle making it so difficult for him to pick up another weapon. Ahmet has already eaten so much damage down in recovery as well. FryDasOle keeps on hunting below him, just looking for the next follow-up, looking for any way he can to possibly continue the juggle. Another recovery comes out. Ahmet has been stuck in disadvantage. He's all out of jumps. FryDasOle not going to be able to read his drift.
Nice!
The side nice.
Okay, Ahmet has weapon control. He has center stage control. Does get the KO there.
What was that? Why did he land with a grab pound like that? Ahmet wasn't getting hit by that.
Could have been a misinput, or maybe he was just going for the bold move there since he was pretty far ahead. He could still lose this game. The recovery is sending off screen. So I think if he grabs another one, definitely if it has the neutral air lead-in from the soft platform, I believe that's going to be the end of the game for Ahmet. But he's still fighting his way back in this, trying to stay as far away from FryDasOle as he can, so Fry can't drift the recovery back into him. Okay, he's making the comeback here. Almost picked up the side light, instantly went down over the wall. That's scary, and that's it right there. It's going to end right on that one. You saw him at the 45-degree angle, and I'm sure FryDasOle was licking his chops when he saw that. Easy recovery for him to pick out of the air. But man, Ahmet is like making one of the best cases I've seen so far against Chakra.
It's good. So this is interesting. Right now, the dynamic that I want to really hammer down that we're seeing unfold is that Ahmet is the one that is oftentimes jumping in. He is the one that is often initiating. He's looking for a call out with either a jump sider or most commonly a jump neutrally or a recovery. He is not playing a grounded orb at all. The only times that he is when FryDasOle has exhausted all of his jumps. Catching Priya's landing is very difficult. Priya mains, they feel very, very safe using up all of their jumps. They feel safe using up their dodges because they get to land with downer and they get to mix up their drift so much. Ahmet, the thing that he is doing so well is catching a lot of FryDasOle's landings, but I feel like the thing that he is getting exploited on, as we saw at the end, is when he goes for a jump callout, FryDasOle has been consistently getting punishes, and at the end he whiffed the recovery in FryDasOle's face, and he was just able to get a very clean whiff punish off of it. Ahmet has not been opting for the gauntlets at all. He just wants to go orb in this matchup, and I understand why. Very safe, disjointed aerial options, whereas with gauntlet you have to be a lot more up close and you have to contest with Chakra's disjoints a little bit more.
And one thing Ahmet's been doing a really good job of with the orb, well, one of the things this game specifically is like weapon starving. How far are we into the game? We're 30 seconds into the game before FryDasOle gets his first weapon.
And then you say that, and then he didn't get the weapon starve that time around. Ahmet, though, picking up the orb. It is now orb against Chakram. Let's see what FryDasOle has for us.
Ahmet's been doing a great job of like playing at the 45, which if you're the person below the Chakram player, like in this case, FryDasOle can't really contest him with anything because the down air basically goes straight down. It has like a little bit of a left and right hitbox, you know what I mean, but it doesn't have a 45-degree angle. And so the dash jump nair specifically the Nair that Ahmet's been using really well to kind of stay in that 45, because it does act in that way, in the way that Chakram doesn't have anything to deal with. So I really like the use of that. Should be, oh, he completely disengages. I thought he was going to get the KO there because the dodge was going to have to come out. I think that was, if he played it right, potentially a confirmed KO, a confirmed edge guard.
Okay, Ahmet picking up the oil FryDasOle with the sword. Is he going to be able to get something here? Is he going to be able to get a D-Light, or is Ahmet just going to close out the stock? We'll have to find out. FryDasOle coming back onto stage in a bit of a greedy way. Ahmet just able to fight a side light side, optimal punish, just saying, hey, okay, watch out, buddy. Don't end sig like that again. Thank you.
Ahmet with like the best lead he's had so far. I mean, we've seen Fry throw out neutral signatures like that and get punished for it. He had 3 signatures that he threw out last game, hit none of them. I think that's like the first sig that we've seen FryDasOle hit so far. He does confirm the edge guard with the ground pound, and we're back to an even game.
Yeah, very nicely done. I love that slide off side sig that he went for. It just covers so much of the stage, and it can be like such a powerful dissonant option when you haven't established that you're going for it a lot. It was not an Ahmet's mental stack. It was not something that he was worried about, and so he just ended up eating it at the end. So FryDasOle playing the same game plan. Again, Ahmet, the question is, does he connect the neutralizer? When he whiffs a neutralizer, that's FryDasOle's punish. When he connects it, of course, then he's able to set up a juggle of his own. So, Ahmet, you have to keep yourself safe. Your spacing has to be so tight.
Yeah, and that's the scariest part, because like Fry has such a room for drift that you get when you're playing on Chakram. So if he whiffs that Nair, then it's like, okay, FryDasOle can like be outside of the range. He can drag himself outside of the range of it and then drag himself back in for the punish. It seems like he's able to do that very easily, which is so tough. But Ahmet, man, he's doing a great job with these Nairs. I cannot hammer that point in enough.
I don't know how Ahmet is supposed to actually call out these recoveries from FryDasOle, because the whole point of Chakram, right, is that you get to have all of these soft commitments. If you want to call out a jump and you're like, I don't know if this is going to hit or not, you can always steer the recovery away, and it is so far away that the opponent can't really do anything about it. And we see FryDasOle get away with a lot of whiffed recoveries as a result, and Ahmet, he has not been able to lock down a punish on it quite yet. We're going to see that again probably in a second.
Yeah, it almost feels like Ahmet has to... Oh, okay, again, using that soft platform to pick up the sidelight stair, just like he did one of the previous times that we were on this great down air. Nice. He gets to do an edge guard against a disarmed FryDasOle. That had to feel so good in that moment to hit. He has a solid lead now. Absolutely. That's like that's a huge confidence booster, momentum shifter.
His weapon serving has also been, like as you brought up in the beginning of the game, it has been essential. FryDasOle finally picking up the Chakrams. Oh my goodness. Okay, he's playing Fused. He's looking for the side stick. He's not going to be able to get it. Ahmet somehow didn't go out. He's going to place attack there. That's okay. Tries to go for the back hit of the D-Sig. It has deceptively low end lag.
Alright, Fry, come on, dude. What are you doing?
He's greedy. He wants that KO. He wants that knockout, and he is looking for it, and Ahmet is ready to play back.
Dude, Ahmet now with almost a full stock lead. It's just under a full stock lead. Great dodge up. Didn't dodge into the wall because that would have ended his iframes. He would have gotten caught by it. Fry seems like he's floundering right now. What are these signatures? He hits the ground pound at Ahmet with a 2-stock again.
Yeah, this was called FryDasOle could not get the KO, and so he was throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. And at that moment, there was nothing that was particularly sticking. The pasta was not done enough. The starches have not swelled enough for them to adhere. So, Ahmet, really good punish. Just again, he is playing the patient game just as well as FryDasOle is, and in fact, in that game, he was playing it a little bit better. He was playing back, he was reacting, he was not falling into any signatures. He also wasn't doing, you know, sort of like the new legend thing, right? Whenever the new legend comes out, and they have like a deceptively low end lag signature, a lot of people, they give openings, they think that they can punish it, they end up whiffing, they don't have their spacing on lock, and I've seen a lot of pre-mains, ever since max mode, just really take advantage of that. He was not whiffing his punishes, and he also knew when to respect the signatures and knew when, okay, this was safe enough, I just have to let this thing happen.
And we saw the strings were just like not something that Fry could rely on that game. If we look at the damage per engagement, it was 38 for Ahmet and only 26 for FryDasOle. So Ahmet was getting the longer strings that he wasn't able to get previously, and FryDasOle wasn't getting the strings that he was able to get previously anymore. He was getting like one hit at a time. FryDasOle was the one all of a sudden starting to play the straight hit game over Ahmet.
Ahmet holding onto the stage, sliding off of that sidelight. Nicely done. Good spacing.
Yes,
he goes out
sir.
there for the ground pound. He goes for the double. FryDasOle going to be able to get a recovery, and he comes back on, but not before eating a couple of hits. FryDasOle, he has not been able to get these openings. Ahmet with the neutral. He is intercepting him, leading in with a side sig. Down on the side, is going to be able to connect. Both of them are coming alive. The ground pound, the GC like ground pound. Is that going to be the stock? He picks up the sword instead of finishing it. But maybe that was the right choice.
Okay. Ahmet's still in this one. He's really going to struggle to get back because, yeah, dude, that turnaround recovery, able to grab your opponent as they're cresting over the corner. That's so difficult to get away from. He wants to find this weapon. He has it. It's going to be the gauntlets. Almost had the max range from that, but FryDasOle timed it so well.
But Chakram, again, the recovery, not going to be able to KO from that low. Ahmet just looking for a way to get back onto the stage. FryDasOle,
nice.
Again, those are those soft commitments. You got to keep fading back with it. You got to keep it safe.
FryDasOle saw like the corner rise coming out from Ahmet, and you see like he's continuing to do that. The turnaround recovery back towards the stage to catch Ahmet as he dodges through towards the stage, and Ahmet hasn't been falling for it. He does get the KO there, but there was like several times that Ahmet acted like he was coming over the corner. FryDasOle throws out the recovery to catch him, and then he goes back to the wall, touches the wall, and then comes back over. That's great recognition from Ahmet on how to recover back to the platform.
So Ahmet is doing a really good thing. He is not overcommitting. He is not rushing and dash jumping across the stage in a reactable way to try and punish FryDasOle's movement, right? He's just slowly inching closer and closer to FryDasOle, and he is seeing what is the ambiguous space where I feel like I can threaten him and maybe try to bait something from him. He's walking in, he's walking out. He's entering FryDasOle's space, and then he is exiting it. And that is the neutral that the two of them are playing at the moment. FryDasOle able to get a recovery, though. He is securing this lead for himself. Ahmet not able to get the neutral recovery. Can he get this edge guard is the question.
You saw him extend out like deep over on the right side. I was hoping for like the side air follow-up so that he could get the KO. Okay, he did hit the recovery first, and that wasn't enough, and then he went up above the soft platform on the right, threw out that side air, then got that KO. He's about half of his stock behind. If he can play the weapon starve game, it literally goes right to FryDasOle, right at his feet, and he picks it up instantly. There's the side sig.
Side sig still able to hit grounded. That is so much coverage. Ahmet had nowhere to go. A down on the side as well is going to come out. FryDasOle just going to be opting to weapon start the field instead, picking up the chakrams. Good spacing on the pickup, and the fused down. Is that going to be enough to KO? Yes, it will be. FryDasOle has an entirely stock lead. Is he going to be able to get the set? This would be an amazing win.
Yeah, it seems like this game is really starting to slip away from Ahmet. We need to see a rally back like the previous game that we saw in Miami Dome. We're seeing Fry extend off stage to get these edge guards. Like Ahmet was doing well there before, but now it seems like he's in a very defensive stance. He's on the back foot as Fry is continuing the pressure and pushing off stage. Oh, this is scary. Dodge
comes out, chase dodge up, not able to get the neutral downer, and again, you can be sweating as much as you want because you can always land with downer. Ahmet finally able to get an end light, not going to be able to get a D light. The D sig is going to come out, disarming Ahmet. Is he going to be able to make it back onto the stage? FryDasOle just looking for anything at this point, and that should be able to KO Ahmet.
That was like 3 instances of really good coverage from Fry. He did the D-Sig right on the weapon spawn, so Ahmet couldn't get it. He couldn't like spot dodge through that and pick up the weapon. And then right after that, he picked up the weapon, threw the sword up, covering the high option over the corner, and then he also threw out a side light, covering the low option over around the corner. So it was just like he covered high, he covered low, he covered the weapon, and that's going to be the game right there. Ahmet grabbed two stocks that set, and then all of a sudden in the final game, in game 5, FryDasOle also picks up the 2 stock, this time on his side, and he grabs the set win. But Ahmet, man, wow. He showed us something against Chakram that, at least so far, I don't think we've really seen anybody else do. We saw shades of it at max mode from Markimu when he was like, okay, I think I'm going to opt for the blasters. The blasters are going to be the Chakram counter.